What's going on, guys? My name is Gio. This is actually my second channel that I'm trying to kick off, so do me a huge favor, go ahead and subscribe to it so that way we can hit the numbers that we need to. But this channel is mainly focused on some of the behind the scenes footage of stuff that I don't want to make a dedicated video on. So today we're actually going to be working on the Land Cruiser, and then I'm going to go over some of my ideas for future videos and videos that I already have parts for very soon on these two projects. I've got the air horn, which is this piece, off the carburetor, and I was having a problem where when this was bolted to the bottom, I wasn't getting any movement on this at all. So the accelerator pump was completely stuck, like super stuck. But when I unbolted this and this piece got loose, I was able to plunge it no problem. So it totally threw me for a loop and I couldn't figure it out. But a couple of threads on I Hate Mud, shout out to D-Maddox, a 16-year-old thread helped me out. If you look right in here, that is the port where the fuel comes out of the accelerator pump. Let's see if I can show you here. I'm gonna hold this down and push the pump down. Okay, so you see, aside from it shooting out of my thumb, it's gonna come out that jet. Okay, it's not the best example, but it comes out of that jet right there, and this is fully seated, and then this carburetor base gasket right there seals it off even more, so it doesn't move at all once the air horn's bolted down. But that little tiny jet got clogged, and because this fuel pressure had nowhere to go because the port was clogged, this was completely jam-packed stuck, and it just was super weird and super mind-boggling. And I'm trying to figure out how that happened because I have a new fuel filter, but if you look inside of here, that is crud. That is dirt inside of the bowl. So it's getting past the fuel filter somehow, some way, even though it's an original one and I changed it with another original one after less than 1,000 miles. So my guess is it's coming from these fuel hoses that I bought used, but they came off of a running vehicle. So I don't know if that's the issue or not, but there's definitely crust. Let me see if I can move it around so you can see. You can see it floating and moving in circles. That stuff finally worked its way through that port into here and clogged up that little small accelerator pump port. And that is on a carburetor that I had already rebuilt. So I knew there was nothing wrong with it. I knew it had to be something that happened, not with the rebuild, because like I said, I've driven over 1,000 miles. So it's super weird, but I figured I'd put this in the video along with replacing the valve cover gasket, because in my infinite wisdom, I removed the valve cover to check the head bolts and I put it back on and I pinched it and it leaked oil everywhere. So we're gonna go ahead and knock out two birds with one stone. Okay, it's all back together and you saw me test it. So before, I couldn't even do this at all. This was literally completely locked in place. And it's just crazy how that tiny little orifice down there, that little tiny jet, will cause that big of a headache. It really had me puzzled for a long time, and I was kind of worried because it was jammed tight, but luckily when I took off the air horn, that thing moved, so I knew it had to be something that was clogging it up. All right, guys, right where my thumb's at right here, you can see a hole in this, and that's where it was pinched like that, and the oil was just puking out on the side. So we're gonna go ahead and use this. It's a high tack gasket sealant, and so what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna put it all in this channel right here, and that is going to lock in the new valve cover gasket onto the valve cover. And so when we flip this upside down, it doesn't fall out on us and give us the same problem we had before. All right, let's pop this thing open and see what we got here. I'm gonna shake it real good first. And I'm gonna just give this one final cleaning real good. It's actually a lot waterier than I thought it was going to be. Alright, so I just got the brushes in the groove here. And then I'm just going to wipe off the excess with a towel. All right, that looks pretty good. It's not that hard to clean off, so if you can do it without making a mess dripping down the sides, definitely recommend doing that. Okay, so this is the OEM valve cover gasket, and just by wiping that, I could already feel that it got really, really tacky. I'm just gonna start with 2 corners and then work my way down. Whoa, this stuff is super tacky. Look at that, you can see that web. That is awesome. That is so crazy because it looked very liquidy when I opened up the bottle. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do the final test here. Flip this thing upside down, and you can see that is instant. I'm not even holding the gasket. That is instant set. So I don't have to worry about letting it cure or do anything. We can go ahead and go over to the truck and put it right on the engine. I already went ahead and cleaned up the surface area and wiped it down off camera. So now we just need to get the cover back on. And I need to be careful that that stud doesn't catch on this gasket and take it off. That feels good. Oh man, that stuff is awesome. And here's an old one and a new OEM. This is old aftermarket, and it's not too bad, but we're gonna go ahead and swap them out anyways. And I put a little tiny dab of oil on it, just so that it didn't bind up when we're tightening it down. And I was actually really bummed out when this thing started leaking, only because I didn't know what was wrong, and all I could see was just oil being burned and steaming white smoke under the hood while I was driving home. And I was about 45 minutes away. But I pulled over at the gas station and I saw that it was oil, so I rinsed it off with a water bottle, and I just went home as fast as I could, basically. Now these, I don't torque them to spec because chances are you're gonna break that stud, so I just torque them by feel, and I've never had an issue, so I'll go ahead and do that same method here. Let's get this intake assembly dropped back on. This one's a little tricky because it has to go under all this stuff. Okay, got that. And then these slide back on. I'm not sure what happened to the rest of the video. It must have just turned off on its own, but we got everything else installed. The top is just a few wing nuts, some hoses, make sure all the vacuum lines are back in place, lock down the clips, and you are good to go. So let's fire this thing up and see if it's working the way it should be. Let's do one last glance over. Make sure we are good to go. All right, so one of the main issues I was having, like I mentioned before, is when I gave it gas hard, it would stumble, it would be like, ugh, and then pop, or it would just fall flat on its face and then go up. So at a stop sign, I had to give it gas very slow to take off. And now that I give it gas, it immediately responds. For a tractor motor, it's gonna be as good as it's gonna get, really. But this thing is idling so good, and I can't wait to take it back on the road. And no more oil leaks to finish this video off on the FJ40. Mission completed. Now let's go ahead and get on to what we're going to be doing with the LC250 and with the Tacoma. Okay, we got this giant box of Dynamat Extreme that's going to be going on the Land Cruiser. We need to take apart the interior, get that installed. I don't know if you noticed, but I got some shirts made in green and black, so when I record my videos it looks a little bit better. And the Tacoma is going to get a equal length Y pipe and a transmission valve body mod, plus a new transmission mount.